Hey G Squad, welcome back to Solix. Is it worth it? So today's episode we got this equipment here, and since what this is a portable power station. And see right here we do have two products from two different brands. This one right here is a brand new product from the Anker brand, which is called the Anker Solix C1000. And then for this one right here is the Ecoflow Delta 2. So the reason why I compared these two right here is because what you guys do get for both of them is very similar. In terms of the size, it's about the same. They do have the handle on both sides for you guys to carry it. Same thing for this one. And when you guys do feel the weight of both of them is almost about the same. But in terms of what you guys do get for both of them, I think there's slight difference. So the front part right here, they do have the display for both of them. But the thing that's different about both of them is the fact that for the power on here is slightly more, and this one slightly less. And let me explain what I mean. So this one actually has a built-in light for you guys to use. This one does not. Both of them, they do have the app control for you guys to use, which I'll show you in a second. This one actually has 6 output on here for the AC option for you guys to use. And all 6 of these are the 3-prong option. If you guys do look at it for this one here, this one give you guys 6 of them as well, but they give you guys only 2 of the 3-prong option. And here we do have 4 of the 2-prong option. So definitely a better option for what you guys get on here compared to the other one. And supposedly the way how to design this one, similar to one that you see on Ecoflow one, it gives you guys a surge pad design for this one to give you guys even more power for you guys to use it. But this one right here give you guys 2 of the USB-C option for you guys to use. That probably has 100 watts each. This one right here only probably guys 100 watts with this one, and this one only 30 watts. And then right here they do give you guys 4 of the USB-A option. 2 of them is a regular charge option and 2 of them is fast charge. Whereas right here they only give you guys 2. And then for both of this product, they do give you guys the option to put an extra battery on here to use. So this one will be on the side here, if you guys want to buy the expansion battery to use. And then this one will be on this side, in the back, for you guys to plug it in. And then for both of the product, when you guys use it, they do have the air vent option or the fan option inside to prevent it from overheating when you do use it. But to give you guys a better point of view of the product, let me actually bring the camera a little closer to show you guys what it actually looks like from up close. So once you guys do bring it up close, here's what it actually looks like for both of them. And you see how it's almost about the same size like I mentioned. This one is a little bit taller when you guys do look at it and a little bit more wider. So maybe this one has a little bit more power when you guys use it. But in terms of display, if you see how both of them give you guys the display, this one shows you guys how many hours left, the battery percentage, input and output, and show you guys that it's connected to Wi-Fi. This one here only show you guys the battery percentage on here because it only show you guys everything else that's on here later on when you guys do plug it in. But this is pretty much what it actually looks like in the front in terms of what you guys do get like I mentioned. And then here is this one. For this one actually has a button for you guys to turn on and turn off the USB option. Where for this one here is automatic. If you guys do turn on the side, this part right here is expansion option for you guys to use like I mentioned. And then here is the air vent fan option that they have on both sides. But if you turn on the side for this one, this actually looks like for the expansion battery for this one if you guys do use it. So different design in terms of what you guys do get. But they do have the air vent on this side and also on the other side as well. Let me turn around to the other side. So once you guys turn over this side, this actually looks on the other side. So both of them definitely have the air vent option on both sides when you guys do use it. But notice how on this side right here, we do have the solar charging option, AC option, and the overload protection. Where for this one right here, is on the side here. So once you guys open up here, that is where you plug in cable here to use it. So we do have the solar charging option, a car charging option. Here we do have the AC option for the wall charger. And then the overload protection. And this side right here, we do have the DC and the AC option for your use. These should have like the surge pad design on here as well. And you see how it's designed with this part right here sticking out a little bit. And notice how this one gives you guys these options for your use for the DC option. And they do have the button for the press to turn it on and off. And then for the back part for this one, this actually looks like in the back. So just like any other Anker's power station, when you guys do use it, they mention how you guys want to recharge the product to activate it if it's your first time using it. So you do want to plug in the cable before you guys start using it, otherwise it will not work. But that's a little bit about both of them in terms of what you guys do get. Before I actually plug it in to test it out, let me actually show you guys what the app looks like for both of them first. All right, so right here is what the app looks like for the Ecoflow one. And see how I do have multiple devices on here, but we do have it connected at the moment with the app. So on the app right here, I show you guys input, output, what you guys are using. You do have the option turn on and turn off AC, DC, and USB-C option. And if you guys go to setting, you do have the option to customize stuff on here as well in terms of turning on the X Boost technology and etc. And you do have the option to use energy management, device sharing, and etc. So feel free to use it however you want. And if you guys do go to the Anker one here, this actually looks on the app for this one. So the cool thing about this one is the fact that you do have the option to connect it via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, whereas the older version with the 757 did not give you guys the option. So very cool how this one has the option available. But this one show you guys the input and output on here, show you guys the battery percentage, give you guys a fast charging speed when you guys use it in terms of ultra fast. You do have the option to turn on brightness, car option, AC option, and screen off option if you guys want to use that option on here. So that will turn it on and off. Turn on the brightness. That's on high. This is on medium. This is on low. And then off. So very nice how I actually give you guys the option on here. And if you guys do press right here, you do have the option to customize the setting on here as well. And if you guys do end up getting this unit on here, it is recommended for you guys to make sure the firmware on here is up to date. Otherwise, when you guys do charge the product, it will not give you guys that fast charging speed. Because when I first plugged it in, it was only giving me around 600 watts of power, which is really low. But once I updated and fixed the issue, it charged a lot more and provided a lot more power when you do use it. So that's what it actually looks like for both of them in terms of what you guys do get. Now let's plug it in to show you guys how much power it does provide for the input option. So currently I do have two cables plugged in, one for wall outlet and one somewhere else. Let's plug in both of them to show you guys how much power it does provide for both of them when you guys do that. Alright, so I just plugged it in for both of them. And you see how the number on here is jumped up to 1100 watts at the moment. And then right here for this one, it's providing around 977 watts. And the fan kicks in immediately on here and it is quite loud, but definitely charges fast in terms of what you guys do get. So currently it mentions how it probably take around 20 minutes to recharge it from 84% to 100. It's maintaining around 1,164 watts around that range. Where for this one right here, they mentioned how it probably take around 0.6 hours and it's charging at 982 watts. But right here, when you guys do look at it, it's probably take around 36 minutes to recharge it. But if you guys do kick in the ultra fast option, watch what happens. You see how the number on here jumped up to 1300 watts. So that's 200 watts more than what you guys get on this one for the input option if you guys were to use the ultra fast option. So to charge it from 50% to 100%, it'll probably take around 30 minutes. And they mentioned for the ultra fast option, when you guys use it, you only want to use it when it's necessary and not all the time if you guys want to maintain and protect the battery. So keep that in mind when you guys do that. But very cool how to give you guys the option on here to give you guys a fast charging speed for the product. Obviously the same thing for this one. If you guys want to lower the watts on here, feel free to do so. But definitely charges really fast when you guys use it. If that'll jump from 84% to already 87%. And this one jumped from 49% to 51% already. So that's a quick little charge test to show you guys how much power it does provide when you guys do use it. If you guys notice how the power on here just slows down, because once it gets to like 80 something percent, the power on here does slow down, so keep that in mind. I think same thing will apply to this one as well when it gets to like 80% because of the built-in protection on here to actually use it. So what I'm doing right now is to unplug the cable and give it a try using the laptop to show you guys how much power it does provide for the USB-C option for both of them. All right, so right here I do have both my product, which is my MacBook Pro, and also this device, which is Anker brand new power bank that's super powerful. It provides you guys up to 140 watts of power. So if you guys are interested, feel free to check it out. The maximum power on here for everything together is 250. So if you guys were to charge like two laptops at the same time, it will give you guys that power on here. But what I'm doing right now is give it a try and see how much power it does provide. Let's plug in our laptop on here first. My current percentage on my laptop right now is around like 5%. So it should give you guys a fast charging speed when you guys do that. And see how right now it's providing you guys around 92 watts for your laptop when you guys do that. If you guys do plug in the other one here and unplug your laptop, if you guys do see how much power it does provide, right now it's at 86, 91, 95, 99.4, and now it's at 101, 102. So it definitely goes a little bit over the 100 limit on here, which is pretty awesome. And if you guys do look right here, it shows you guys 100 watts. But if you guys do plug in the other one here, if you see how the power does go up, right now it's showing 194. So it does get very close to that 100 watts or 200 watts for total. Now I'll try this one and show you guys how it does work as well. So I'm gonna plug this one in here because I think this one will provide you guys more power when you guys use it. So right now there's 61, 85, 91, 95, 99.5. Doesn't seem like it's going any higher than 95.5, whereas the other one gives you guys 102, which is not a huge difference, but it is a slight difference. And if you guys do plug in your laptop on here, it's showing 111, 124. And if you guys are curious about how much power it does provide for each one of them, for this one right here, I actually show you guys a stat on here. So 95 for your power bank and then 28 for the USB-C option for your laptop. So the stat on here is a lot more better view when you guys do look at it here compared to Ecoflow, you can see. Because if you guys do plug into the Ecoflow one, it doesn't show you guys individual ones when you guys do use that. It just shows you guys the total when you guys do look at the screen right here, you can see. So what I'm gonna do right now is to try out the AC option on here and show you guys how it does work and how much power it does provide. We're gonna use electric kettle first. And then after that, we'll probably use something else to see if it actually works to use for two powerful devices at the same time. All right, so right here I do have my electric kettle and I do have it plugged in already in the back for this one right here. If you guys do turn it on, it does turn on. And notice how right here I show you guys that the AC option is on, and that's how much power it does provide when you guys do plug it in, which is 1400 watts. But notice how once you guys do turn it on, the fan on here kicks in immediately because it does use a lot of power on here when you guys use that. Now let's unplug it and try the other one to show you guys how much power is on there as well. All right, so now I got it plugged into this one. If you guys do turn it on, we got it on. Give it a few seconds to kind of load up. If you see for this one also probably guys 1400 watts when you guys do that. So the power on here for both of them is very similar in terms of what you guys do get. It does go as high as 1400 watts and the fan does kick in for this one once you guys do turn it on. It does sound like the fan for this one is not as loud as the Ecoflow one when you guys use it for the Delta 2 version, but definitely does work to help you guys boil your water. What I'm going to do right now is to give it a try to use another thing at the same time to see when I support the power on here for both of them. All right, so I got my electric kettle plugged in back to this one, and we do have this portable steamer. So let's turn on both of them and see what happens when you guys do use that. All right, so we got that on, You can see the power on here definitely goes to 2000 watts, which is a lot of power. So it does support both of the devices when you guys do use it. You can see both of them are still on. If you guys do use it for another thing that's very powerful, it might shut off because of the overload protection on here. But so far so good, both of them does work. And I do want to mention that when you guys use only one thing at a time and plug in cable in the back, it will work for the cable to plug it in to recharge it. But if you guys were to plug in both things at the same time and try and plug in cable, it will not work because of the overload protection. What I'm doing right now is do the same thing for this one to show you guys whether or not it supports two devices at the same time in terms of what we do have here. Since the maximum power on here should be 1800 watts. All right, so we got both of them plugged in. Let's turn it on and give it a try. So we got this one on, we got this one on. If you guys do look at the power on here, it goes to 1400 watts. And they tell you guys overload protection. So just like what I predicted for this one, it won't allow you guys to use it for two things that's very powerful because it does use too much power on here when you guys use it. So definitely have the overload protection on here for this one and the other one, but the other one definitely provides you guys more power than this one because this is like a smaller unit in terms of what you guys do get. But the fact that I give you guys 1400 watts on here is actually pretty powerful already. So what I'm gonna do is try one more test to see when it actually works. And what I'm gonna do is turn back on the AC option. And I wanna turn this on first. Because what happens for this device, when you guys first turn it on, it does use a lot of power. But once it stops boiling and kind of like heats up, the power on here will go down. Like right now you can see it's 1400 watts. But if you guys let it kind of boil first, let me show you guys what I mean. It'll probably take a few minutes to get to that point. All right, so I can feel the water starting to get warm and see how the number on here dropped to 600 watts. So because the water in here is already all boiled up and everything, that's why I dropped the temperature on here and it doesn't need to like use it to heat up that high more. That's why it's showing 600 watts. So if you guys try again now, let's see when I support the weight on here when we do use it right now. All right. So see how it does support it and it gives you guys 2000 watts. So the power on here is equivalent to what you guys get on the other one when you guys test out this way. I think because when you guys use two devices on here, with the X-Boost technology on here, it knows to actually bring down the power for one of them. That's why it supports 2000 watts for that one. But for technology on this one, when you guys use it, it's probably not as smart for you guys to use it. So that's why it will not support two devices that supports 1400 watts and 1400 watts. Instead, you guys have to bring it down to 600 watts first and then start using 1400 watts. Then it probably guys the 2000 watts on here. So both of them does probably guys 2000 watts, but the technology on this one is slightly better in terms of what you guys do get. How it automatically detects the device and brings it down for the power. And see how right now for this one is at 2000 watts as well. So very cool how this small unit on here still probably got a lot of power when you guys use it. Compared to this one right here, it's automatic. So that's a quick little test to show you guys how the input option works, output option works, and also the USB option works when you guys do use it. Definitely probably guys similar power when you guys use both of them, especially if you guys do use the ultra fast technology on here to fast charge your device. All right, so now that we test out both of the products to show you guys how it does work for both of them in terms of what you guys do get, you guys can see that both of them are actually very similar in terms of what you guys do get. One thing that I definitely noticed for both of them is the fact that the Anker Solix one, when you guys use the input option, it does provide you guys slightly more power when you guys use the ultra fast charging option, since it does go to 1300 watts. And in this one right here for the Ecoflow brand, it goes to 1100 watts for the input option. The other thing that I do notice is like the technology on here, like I mentioned, once you guys do plug in two devices at the same time, that probably guys 1400 watts each, it automatically knows to bring down the power for one or both of them to actually use it. That way supports the product and goes to 2000 watts. Where for this one right here, when you guys use two 1400 devices, it does have the overload protection that kicks in to turn off both of them. But you can see how when you guys bring down the power for the steamer option, it does work. So there's an extra step for you guys to use with this one to bring down the heat or the temperature on there first before you use both of them. but it also works to give you guys 2000 watts each, even though this one right here is 1800 watts. And obviously for this one right here, allow you guys to use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to connect it, where for that one right there, I believe it's only Wi-Fi. But really cool how both of them allow you guys to use the app control to control stuff on there and see the input and output when you guys use it. And the last thing, obviously for this one, it does have the built-in light for you guys to use, where for that one it does not. But that's pretty much everything in terms of what you guys do get for both of them. Now that we show you guys the difference for both of them and what you guys do get, now to answer the question of whether or not worth it or not and which one's the better option to go for. So for both of these products, they are pretty worth it for what you guys do get. But when it comes to the question of which one's the better option to go for, both of them are actually really good in terms of what you guys do get, so it's really hard to choose one. But I think for me, if I really have to choose between one of these two right here, I'll probably pick this one right here, not only because it's a brand new product, but because it has a little bit more stuff on here that the other one does not have. Even though that one has like the automatic detect to bring down the power on there, which is really nice. The reason why, if I really have to pick one, I would pick this one right here is because it does have some stuff on here like the light option that the other one does not have. And the fan on here is not as loud as the other one when you guys do use it, unless when you guys do leave it charging for a longer period of time. For that one, when you guys do plugging anything in there, it just kicks in the fan immediately, and it does get very loud for that one. And also because this one right here has like 6 of the grounded option cable option, it's a lot more better designed than what you guys get in this one, so they only give you guys 2 of the 3-prong option and then 4 of the 2-prong. Only thing that's kind of a bummer for this one is the fact that it gives you guys only 2 USB option and 2 USB-C. And for the USB-C option, only give you guys 30 watts and 100 watts. Where for that one right there, give you guys 100 watts and 100 watts. But honestly, that's not a big issue for me because I can always just plug in my own AC cable on here to use my own wall charger if I want to get more power. So for me, I probably have to pick this one over the Ecoflow Delta 2. But honestly, I can't really go wrong with either one of these. They are really good for what you guys do get, and probably one of my top few favorite power stations from these two brands. But then obviously for those of you guys who don't want or don't need one or haven't one of these, obviously don't buy one and save your money for something else you actually do need. So that's basically everything for this video itself. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button in the bottom. That will definitely help this video out, and it will definitely help with the algorithm as well to promote more videos for you guys so you guys can see more of the videos or similar videos as well. But as always, make sure to stay positive, be you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Is It Worth It? Peace.